Oladironke Oyelakin, State Coordinator, Child Protection Network, an initiative of UNICEF, joins me now to share her perspective on the celebration of the Children's Day. Good to have you on the news at this time. So first off, let's get your perspectives on the significance of the Children's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I ask you, give us your perspective on the significance of Children's Day.
Oh, yes, for us celebrating Children's Day in Nigeria, it is a day for us to look into the plight of children in Nigeria especially, and also to see what we have been doing over the years, how we have put them first more in our plans, our policies, and how far we've gone in their protection and welfare, and also to see other challenges that are actually facing our children in Nigeria, to see how we can actually give them the best and put them first in all that we do for the nation at large, because they are the future of our country. So for us, celebrating Children's Day is to celebrate them being wonderful children, yes, and also looking at what we have done as a nation for these children. Are there any challenges they are facing? How we can get them to enjoy a better life through putting the policies and laws and whatever we need to put in place for their protection and welfare.
And talking about challenges, we know and understand that out-of-school children remains a persistent challenge in Nigeria today. Talk to us about how you think this matter can be addressed, even as we celebrate the Children's Day.
Out-of-school children is a major challenge here in Nigeria and mostly in Lagos State, because we have more people coming into the state.
And how do you think this can be addressed?
It's a major challenge for us in Lagos State especially, because the population of children in Lagos State is increasing, and the number of children that are being enrolled, the number of schools available is not even enough for those children. We have many of them still on the street. We have network of CPN, of NGOs that work with children in Lagos State, but yet we have quite a lot of children that are still not in school. So it's a major challenge for us, and we want to implore the government through the ministries in charge of education and every stakeholder in the state to ensure that when you find a child within your environment that is not in school, let's do the needful by getting them to be enrolled, by coming to the ministry or informing the NGO nearest to you, the local government nearest to you, because the number of children is increasing on a daily basis. If you go to Oshodi, for instance, during the day, during school hours, you see quite a lot of children. There are many slums in Lagos State that children are still not going to school. You see children hawking on the street, selling things during school hours. So how do we actually tackle this issue? Because the number of children coming into Lagos, they are increasing. So we need to look into it holistically with the neighboring states, the southwest states, to see how we can curb this and actually get our children to be enrolled in school.
And how do you think civil society organizations and, of course, other stakeholders can support this move, this narrative, so that we can get our children off the streets?
One of the ways we've been doing that is awareness, through awareness. We've done several awareness, but the increasing rate of children coming in is too much, is enormous. It's actually overwhelming. Because if the neighboring states, of course, it's open, everybody comes into Lagos on a daily basis. We keep seeing children lost and found. This one is lost and found here and there. It's because there are no particular way for stopping them in a particular sense. Because if they come from different states and they come into Lagos State, they will be on the street. So what NGOs have been doing is through awareness. And at CPN, we're all over the state of the Federation. And what we do is to encourage parents that have the number of children you can care for. If you have 5, 6, 7, if one goes, you don't care because you have some of them still remaining. So it's very important for all of the government agencies to see, even the state government, to see how they can work together to curb this issue. It's really becoming, Lagos is actually becoming like a state of everybody just coming, children just everywhere on the streets, walking up and down. So what CSO has done over the years is to partner with organizations like IOM to tackle maybe children that the traffic children, to tackle issues of children with UNICEF. We have been working with quite a lot of international NGOs. But Lagos state government, they need to also sit up, because on a daily basis, I see number of children on the streets, and it's really alarming. It's really, I'm not confident about it, and we need to do something about it as soon as possible. But CSOs are doing their whole best to see how they can curb it, but we have to come together as government and as non-state organizations.
All right, let me quickly ask you this finally. What activities or programs are being lined up for this year's Children's Day celebration? Briefly tell us how this will emphasize the child protection and, of course, empowerment?
Okay, for us in Child Protection Network, I just came back from an event that one of our partners, or member of CPN organization, did at Stadium, and we had other events lined up. All the local governments, we are in all the local governments of Lagos State, 20 local governments, and Ikorodu celebrated on the 26th, and some other organizations celebrated through the CPN network. What we did was to sensitize the students. We need to involve them. We engage the students on being a change agent, being a change advocate, for them to amplify their voices as children, for them to be able to speak up, and for them to know the signs to watch out for when the child or their friends are being abused. And they also were taught about their rights, and that we can't just stop talking about it because more children are being abused, they're experiencing violence, they're experiencing exploitation and neglect. So the children themselves need to be informed, and that's what we've done throughout this Children's Day celebration. We started since Monday, and we're still going to continue tomorrow. We are going to a church tomorrow to sensitize them in the church and other places in the local government for them to know that these children, their lives are actually in our hands as adults and as a government. We have a role to play to ensure that they are safe, they are protected, and they are given the right to education for them to be the best they can and give back to their society.
All right, and that's a fine place to leave it. Adironke Oyelakin, State Coordinator, Child Protection Network and Initiative of UNICEF. We appreciate your insights on the news at this time.